Welcome to BackPackTrack, the solo travel podcast for people who think one backpack is a lifestyle. Hey, how's it going? Since so many of you asked me about my daily life in Japan and you wanted to know more about studying, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna take you today to my JLPT proficiency test. So, in Japan, you can write twice a year a Japanese proficiency test, which is divided in 5 groups. So from N5, the lowest rank, to N1, the highest rank. And as I said, you can only do it twice a year, and the registration period is only roughly 10 days, so you really need to get going. And the thing is, the test is not for free, you have to pay. And here in Japan, it's like 7,500 yen. So for me, it was like around $35, which is okay. I just wanted to try. And it's always a thing. Once you're registered, you cannot change your level. So you really need to be sure, like, hey, I want to do N1. Hey, I want to do N2. And for me, I felt like N5 is too easy because people are saying, N5 is when you just study a little bit by yourself and that's it. So I felt like, okay, you know what? I go for N4. I mean, I studied at school for 6 months. A little bit more than 6 months already, so I felt like, it should be better than N4, I hope. But, N3 I was not really sure about it, because my vocabulary sucks. So I felt like, okay, let's go with N4. And I registered, I was super motivated, I also felt like, hey, it's probably during the weekday, so one day of less school, nice! And then I checked the calendar and I was like, oh, oops. And I got the registration mail and this time it's the 7th of December right now. And I got my confirmation, or better said, the letter with all the details where I have to go 1 month before. And there it said, it's on a Sunday from 3 to 7. And I felt, great. I can't imagine doing anything better on a Sunday afternoon other than taking a test, whatever. So now I'm here in front of Waseda University. It's like a huge building, and honestly right now I'm at a side street because the main entrance is crazy. There's so many foreigners taking this test, and I thought it's way less because first of all it depends which level you're taking, because it is divided to different locations. So I just have the honor to be here at Waseda University, but friends of mine, they have to go to different places. So it really depends where you're living, or better said, which level you're having. And if you're taking N2 and N1, so it's the more difficult ones, as I said, the most difficult one is N1. And even some Japanese people, some natives, cannot pass that. That's crazy to me, but whatever. So, and they have the luck, better said, to write the test in the morning. And for me, since I'm in a low rank, it's the afternoon. But whatever. I just do it for the experience, kind of. And so once you register, you cannot change your level. So for me it was okay, I really carefully click N4, not that I do accidentally N3, and then I would be panicking. And the truth is, I was super motivated. Actually, yes, I'm I'm gonna learn super much, and I had a special books for this JLPT, and I felt yes, I'm gonna rock this. This will be fine. The reality was, I didn't learn at all, actually. And yesterday, I started watching the book. And today in the morning, I took my first, training test. And, I failed. So, I'm excited for this one. And honestly, again, I feel a little bit nervous because, it's still a test and I hate writing tests. That was the worst part about school, actually, writing tests, being nervous, being fuck, what should I do? And anyways, and then on the other side, I'm also really calm and be you know what? It's just a test. I don't care. I mean, I can take another one, and a test does nothing say about your actual level, kind of, because you don't need to talk. And honestly, I'm a little bit sweaty, and usually I'm always cold, but I feel like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to write this test, and I was literally less calm when I was in New Zealand jumping out of the airplane for my skydive. There I was less nervous, which is crazy to me because here I'm just sitting somewhere and, yeah, writing a test. And this test, what is also really nice, it's multiple choice. So you have a 25% chance to be right, even though you have no idea. And the test is divided into three parts. And the first part I'm the most confident in because it's like kanjis. Vocabulary also mixed. I'm not that great with vocabularies because I just can't remember this shit. I'm just like, everything sounds so similar. I cannot remember, no. But yeah, that's a me problem, whatever. So I'm very confident with the kanjis, but after that, you have a grammar part, which is, I think, okay, I would say. But then there is the my main boss. It's reading comprehension. You get a text and you have to answer questions. And honestly, I'm really bad with reading because all the words, they don't have like a gap like in other languages. So you kind of read it and then sometimes I feel like, what does that mean? And then I realize, oh yeah, that are 3 different words, so you just need to divide them. So it takes ages, and obviously you have a time limit. So the last part then is the listening comprehension, where you have like, a radio playing a CD and you have to listen and answer questions. I think this will be so. I don't know. I mean, when I did my training test, at some point I was just like, I fell asleep kind of and be like, I don't want to listen to that. And then, answer the question, and I felt like, I forget to listen, whatever. But yeah, let's see how it goes. And I'm gonna make my way, having my fun paper with me, where I had like already a seed distributed, everything is already set, and let's see how it goes. I will keep you updated after the test. Alright, as you can see, it's already dark, and I just finished the exam, and well, that was interesting. I don't really know where I should even start, because it was an experience, isn't that? It's exactly what I wanted to do, having an experience. So, we entered the room, or better said, a building. There were 2 buildings, and I, confidently as I am, just walked into the wrong building, went to the toilet, and we're like, I'm right, like, this will be fine. And then, one of the employees, they were like, you're wrong. You have to go outside. You have to go in the other building. And I'm like, ooh, okay, whatever. So, so I changed the building, and it's crazy. Like, this university is so fancy. They have, like, escalators, and, I think I went to the 4th floor, and you have, like, a designated room where you have to go. And in my room, there were, like, 100 people. And there were so many rooms. The whole building was full. And honestly, I think I was saying earlier, like, maybe 300, 400 people are taking this course, or this test. Like, no way. I think it was more around, like, 1,000 people. It's probably not enough. It's crazy. And it was well organized. I was so surprised. So, you had to, like, on your receipt is your number on it. And with this number, you register. So, you go to your desk, and on your desk there's like the number put on, and you just sit down and wait. And the first thing I found really interesting was that someone came to me and be like, please remove your hat, and they said it to everyone in the room who was wearing a hat, and I felt like, okay, why not? And then they explained the rules in Japanese only, and I think like with JLP4 I understand, makes sense, because you can understand already quite a bit. But if they also explain that to people with N5 who are taking N5, I don't think they would get it, because I also did not understand everything. But so we were not allowed to drink or to eat, and drinking was only allowed during the breaks. And then on our desk there was how do I say it? I really forgot the word, but the thing where you put little letters in. I only remember at the moment the Japanese word, so yeah, my head is a little bit crazy. Anyways, so we had to put in everything, like a smartwatch or phone, everything which could be used to cheat. So I felt like, okay, and we could not open the whole thing until the very, very end. So also interesting having break without the phone. Anyways, so we started our test. The first segment was kanji and vocabulary, and I felt like, yeah, this is my thing. But they don't tell you how much time you have left. So you get like 2 papers, like one where all the questions are in, and then the second one where you have to cross the right one. So it's always 4 answers, and you have like a 25% chance to be right. And you just have to make not an X, that was wrong. You always have to fully color the field. And they also explain it what is right or wrong. So it's crazy how organized people are. Or better said, how people tend to be perfectionism here in Japan. Well, whatever. You know what I mean, I think. So, they were explaining all of this shit. And me, genius, I just circled the right answer on the normal paper, not the person where, not on the paper where I really had to give them for correction. So, everything where I was a little bit unsure, I left blank. And then, it was just like, ovari. And I felt like, what? Finish? What? I didn't circle anything. And I felt like leaving it blank is way worse than just circle anything. So, within a few seconds, I circled stupid shit. And I was already down to a 50-50, so it's either A or C, but I probably circled just D because I felt like, fuck, I cannot think about what I thought, so I just need to be quick. So, yeah, a little bit of fail. Then the reading part, well, the problem with Japanese language is really if you don't know one word or you don't know one kanji, it's over. So yeah, I also guessed a lot of things and I realized, I suck. I really suck. And then when I was doing the listening, that was the latest point where I felt like, good that you didn't do N3 and you were so delulu. So N4 was definitely the right decision. Anyways, so was it an experience? Yes, definitely. Would I do it again? I don't think so. It's so much stress. Literally, what I felt during the test, I felt like, fuck, I don't even have the time to read it because they would say, oh yeah, it's over. So I was a little bit, I don't know. I didn't read carefully enough the instructions and stuff because I felt like I don't have the time. And instead of putting a time or a clock somewhere in the room, they had nothing. So it was, unless you have an old watch, but unfortunately I don't. And most of the people actually didn't. So it was literally a game of, do I still have time or not? And it was really tough. So if you're not sure, you cannot read again. You just can't. But anyways, it was really hard, but it was an experience. So yeah, if you ever feel like doing the JLPT, I recommend you study a lot. Don't be as stupid as me. Don't be lazy. There are actually a few good apps which really prepare you, kind of. But yeah, I really have to say, for me, most of the problems came just from me not knowing any vocabulary. And if you don't know vocabulary, if you don't understand what's written there, it doesn't matter if you know the grammar. That's not helpful. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little out of my room episode. And yeah, if you have any questions about JLPT, maybe you can answer them, maybe not, but yeah, Would I recommend you to try it? Yes, just for the experience. It's really fun how organized everything is, and it's so different from Europe. But yeah, just do it yourself, and yeah, let me know. Bye!